years later after the Celts. So it was the 6th century after Jesus Christ. Here was great movement of the nations in Europe. So here came Slavic tribes from southeast of Europe, and because the tribes were under leading of great-grandfather Czech, they gave the new name to this country. Czechia, Czechoslovakia, official name nowadays is Czech Republic. So don't be confused if you hear the name Bohemia or Czechia, it is the same meaning but from different time periods. So our country, it's a relatively small territory. We have 78,000 square kilometers territory or 30,000 square miles, and here lives 10.6 million population, and our language belongs to the group of Slavic languages. So it is similar language like in Slovakia, Poland, Ukraine, Croatia, Serbia, Slovenia. So probably you know that from 1999 this country is member of military pact NATO, and from 2004 we joined European Union community. But we are still using our traditional currency, which is named Czech crown. But if you don't have Czech money, you can pay in the touristic destinations also in euro. So, and our far history, the history of 7th and 8th century, it was period of many local war conflicts between original population living here and the new tribes coming here. So generally, let's say that from the middle of the 9th century here was dominating a noble family named Přemyslidi, and this family, they accepted Christianity in the year 883 because at that time to the eastern territory of our country, to Moravia, there came 2 missionaries from Greece. They were named Constantine and Methodius. They brought their Christianity, they translated Bible to the local language, Old Slavic language, and they started services in the local language, not in English, but in Old Slavic language. So they were in conflict with Pope, because Pope insisted that they should provide the services in the Latin language. But they said that if people should understand what's written in the Bible, they should speak in the same language. They should use the same language. So later on, this Constantine, he took the Slavic version of the name, so he's named Cyril and Methodius. Later on, Methodius, he left to Roma, to Vatican, and Cyril stood here and he died on the territory of our country. Later on, both of them, they were sanctified, and they belonged to the basic sense of our liturgy. Two members of this Přemyslidi dynasty, they were named Prince Bořivoj and Princess Ludmila. They accepted Christianity in 883, and they founded Prague Castle as a main residence of them. So it was end of the 9th century, and 9 years later, the Přemyslidi dynasty, they constructed on the other side of the city the second residence, which is named Vyšehrad. So we had here 2 castles and the medieval city, or several medieval cities. They were located in the valley along the river Vltava, and they were located between these 2 castles. And our capital, which is named in Czech language Praha, English Prague. So the location is in the heart of Europe, so that means that many caravans transporting goods from the Middle East, so that means different spices or Silk Road, transporting silk from the Asian territories, especially from China. They continued to the north of Europe, and the other caravans they transported here salt. So that means from Salzburg or from Bavaria there were sources of salt, and this salt was used for the preservation of the meat. So these caravans they passed through our capital and they continued to the north of Europe. And the other caravans they transported amber. They transported amber from Poland or from Baltic countries. They transported amber to the Central Europe, and from here they continued to the southwest of Europe, to Andalusia, to Spain. So that means that our capital profited from these activities, and already 1000 years ago the Old Town Square, it was the largest market square in Europe. So, and please, beginning of 11th century, the Catholic Church in Europe split into the two branches. The Western branch, Roman Catholic branch, with headquarters in Vatican, in Roma, and Eastern Orthodox branch with headquarters in Constantinople, nowadays Istanbul. So there was headquarters of East European Patriarchate. So that means that our rulers, they followed the Western branch, the Roman Catholic branch. So, and originally our country was principality, so that means that our rulers they used title princes or dukes. After 1168 it was changed to the kingdom, so that means that they used titles kings. And in our history we had 4 ruling dynasties. So I already mentioned this first dynasty named Přemyslidi. So they were ruling here from the beginning of the 9th century to the beginning of 14th century. And from the Přemyslidi dynasty we have the main patron of this country, and maybe probably you know the name Good King Wenceslas from the Christmas Chorale. So this man, he was ruling here in the first half of the 10th century, and he should be martyred, or he was martyred in 935. According to the legend, his younger brother Boleslav, later named Boleslav the Cruel, he sent the soldiers, and because younger brother wanted to be the new prince of this country, and his soldiers, they assassinated his older brother when he tried to escape to the church and to save his life. So in the 10th century, Prince Wenceslas or Czech Václav, he was sanctified, and he was buried in the first church of St. Vitus, and he is considered for the main patron of this country, and also the